Hello, welcome back to France 24. It's time for the International Press Review now. Florence Villeneuve is here. Florence, so on the front of the pages of virtually all the French papers, and the London riots making the headlines as well in the international papers.
That's right. Now, papers yesterday were headlining on the rule of the mob, and now they're headlining on the police's response. We're going to start by looking at the Independent. Police will fight fire with fire. Now, authorities initially seemed to be over their head in responding to these riots, and now it seems like they're changing tactics. The police have been given orders to use plastic bullets to stop looting and rioting, and tabloids are also picking up on this story. We're going to look at the front page of the Daily Star, which it has a very dramatic anarchy in the UK. It says, "We'll shoot the looters, fight back starts now." Of course, that's the words of the police. Now, The Guardian is also picking up on this. Their front page says, "Lockdown, police get tough." And it's interesting, there's an article in The Guardian that says that the police are trying to stop looters, and they're also trying to catch people who looted before. Now, the Met has assigned 450 detectives to hunt for rioters and looters. It's the biggest criminal investigation ever mounted by the Metropolitan Police. In the last 3 days, over 560 people have been arrested. The youngest rioter was 11 years old. Now, investigators are looking at CCTV footage, of course, and also at a lot of photos that have appeared online, because internet and social media sites have played an enormous role in these riots. As we've seen, a lot of rioters have been using internet to show off their loot, and it might come and bite them in the end. Now, several websites have popped up, like catchalooter.com, where basically people can upload photos of looters or try to identify them. And if we go on to The Sun, the front page of their homepage on their website, they have a section called Shop a Moron. Basically, if you can name a rioter or identify one, they encourage people to call Crime Stoppers.
Love that headline, shop a moron. Gosh. Well, a lot of people obviously trying to shop a moron and figure out exactly who these people are and why they're acting in such a terrible way.
That's right. We're going to take a look at a piece in an Australian tabloid called the Daily Telegraph. It's actually a piece by Richard Littlejohn, who works for the Daily Mail, and he has nothing but harsh words. He says that nothing can explain such senseless behavior. He says that this isn't a spontaneous uprising of dissent from the downtrodden masses. This is shopping with violence. He says that it isn't about poverty in the material sense, it's about moral poverty and spiritual poverty. And he says that in countries where there's real deprivation, they have food riots. But here we have flat screen, TV riots. Now, it's interesting to note that less sensationalist papers also have harsh words for the looters. For instance, the Wall Street Journal says that there's this feeling of injustice that can partially explain what triggered these riots, you mustn't forget that this is hooliganism, pure and simple. These are not 18th century sans-culottes in France. These people are not revolutionaries. And also, it's interesting to note that a lot of papers are focusing on the other side of these riots, for instance, the victims, and as well as citizens who have come out to try and stop rioting and looting themselves, and also to clean up. Now, there's a photo we're looking at right here in The Guardian that shows residents of Clapham Junction who gathered outside in the street to help clean up the debris and the broken glass.
Yeah, lots of work to be done, undoubtedly. And British politicians drawing some criticism for their response to the unrest, or perhaps some people would say lack of it.
Absolutely. Now, The Independent is calling this Cameron's Katrina moment. Now, that, of course, refers to George Bush's reaction to 2005 Hurricane Katrina, his slow and tardy response. Now, people say that David Cameron waited too late to come back from his vacation, and initially the resources he gave weren't enough.
And just very quickly, the riots in London spark some shock around the world and surprising reactions from Iran and Zimbabwe.
That's right. Now, Iranian lawmakers said that they were ready to send a delegation to investigate human rights abuses. And in Zimbabwe, we're going to take a look at a piece in the Zimbabwe Guardian. Robert Mugabe, the president, has called on Britain to pay attention to the wave of riots and to leave Zimbabwe alone. Now, China has also blamed the UK for human rights violations. Now, we're going to take a quick look at the China Daily. It has dramatic terms. London has been turned into a battleground. Now, it says that it raises questions over whether London can be trusted to stage safe games, Olympic Games in 2012.
OK, Florence, thank you. Some interesting stories making the international papers this morning. Thank you very much. Stay tuned. More news coming up very shortly here on France 24.